gun inside an apartment complex in Indiana. Security video shows the diaper-clad child waving around the weapon and pulling the trigger on Saturday. Nicole Summers says she called 911 after the little boy pointed the pistol at her. Video shows the diaper-clad child waving around the weapon and pulling the trigger on Saturday. Nicole Summers says she called 911 after the little boy pointed the pistol at her son.
When we seen the video of him pulling the trigger and knowing that he had pointed that gun at my son.
I don't know how you can't watch that video, parent or non-parent, and not be shocked and disturbed.
On Patrol Live with 8 departments around the country.
What happened next all played out on live TV. A docuseries featuring Beech Grove police was rolling as officers found the weapon with 15 rounds in the magazine, none in the chamber. They arrested the child's father, Shane Osborne, on felony neglect charges. Police say he could face more charges since he already has a felony conviction.
I'm not going against America, and you niggas is against America. Oh, say, can you see by the colors of the red and read it, when it's not like something series to the top. Burst in the air through the rain of love. It is time to steal man. Oh, say the that star spangled banner, yeah, red for the land of the free. And the home of the brave. We killing crip.
All praises and glory goes to our mighty power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Grey Millstone. Salutations unto the elect men feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, in sincerity and truth with this great gospel, man. We're going to get into this lesson about America's addiction to guns, America's addiction to the sword, man, because, you know, USA under Satan's authority, and who's Satan? Esau, Edom, right? Esau, Edom, what was his blessing? Let's go to it. I'm going to read the book of Genesis 27 and 38, and it reads, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And that's why this devil right now is in power, right? That's why he got all the riches. He got the wealth. He controls the currency, right? He's in full rulership on this earth right now. The dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above, right? He controls these satellites. He set up shop in the heavens first, right? And by thy sword shalt thou live. I'm gonna read that again. And by thy sword shalt thou live. And how did he make a living? Continue to make a living by what? By the sword, right? By the sword. You gotta realize war is big business for this man. Death and destruction and chaos is big business for this man, because he is the wicked, right? What do? They destroy a country, so rebuild. They bring in their construction workers, their architects, right? They bring in their workers to rebuild that country, man. That's what they do. They start a war in a country, collapse that banking system, collapse the currency, and come in like they're here to save the day. But guess what? They're going to tax that ass. They're going to tax that ass. And if you don't bow down, what they're going to come through? They're going to come through the force of the sword, right? They just released a guy, what's his name? Lord of War, right? Some pistol peak selling motherfucker, some pistol selling ass Russian nigga, cracker, right? They just released him for that transgender looking character, Brittany Grinder, whatever her name is. So we already know that these devils, they love their weapons. That was their blessing. I'm reading again, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And ever since Esau came from underneath our rulership, what he's been using the sword to take power on the earth. That's what he's been doing. When you go from after the Dark Ages, right? He took over the Renaissance with the force of the sword. When he came to the Americas, right? He came with that motherfucking sword when he went to the west coast of Africa, stealing slaves, right? His whole system is built off a sword. It's built from the use of the sword, because that's how he put order on the earth, man, through violence, right? Through violence. I'm gonna read the book of Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Now that's the nuclear missiles he got, right? That's the that thermal destruction that he got, man, that nuclear weapons. First the Lord just gave him the regular sword, now he got the great sword, which is the nuclear weapon. When guess what? It's about to be used against his ass. That's the crazy thing. The Lord had give this man a blessing just so it could be used against him. But before that happens, what's happening right now, the vibration of the sword is spreading throughout the earth. Now everybody is going and getting guns because nobody feels safe here in America. Yeah, nobody feels safe here in Babylon the Great. The spirit of peace and safety has clearly vanished, right? It's clearly vanished. When we watching that old society pass away, there's Esau set up a new world order, and how can he set it up? He got to order out of chaos. He got to cause destruction, chaos, right? He got to have people breaking rules and doing whatever they want, so he could come in as the solution. So he could come in like he's the problem solver, right? I'm gonna read this. It says, it's obvious we need more and more guns to protect our children, right? And you got the National Rifle Association, right? Nothing but Edomites. You know this is an Edomite society because they all about their guns, right? All about their weapons. Right? Gun crazy America. That's the spirit of America right now. Gun crazy rappers. You can't find one rapper. He could be singing about his car, his shoes, his girlfriend. There's got to be hella guns in the video, right? That's the spirit of what happened. The spirit of Esau done hopped on Jacob. Let me read this. It's the book of Proverbs 3:31, and it reads, "Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways." What's his ways? By thy sword shalt thou live. Now you got a lot of you niggas. How are you making your living in America? With that sword, robbing, all right, stealing, carjacking, home invasions. With what? With a fucking gun in your hand, right? That's the spirit of America right now. A spirit of robbery, a spirit of thievery, a bloody spirit, right? I'm gonna read the book of Nahum 3:1. It reads, "Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Yet woe to the bloody city." America has turned into a bloody city, man, right? You just had a family in California, 6 motherfuckers get killed. And they killed the baby, a fucking, what, 3 to 6 month old baby? Right? They don't give a fuck. Right? They talking about cartel hit, but here in America, right? So the spirit of peace and safety, it has vanished from this place. People used to come to America because of the beauty, and because of the safety, and because of the resources, right? Because of the greatness, right? But what that shit is disappearing, right? People are fleeing America. You got white people, so-called white people, Edomites, Idumeans, right? The devil, he's going to Mexico right now. You got the so-called Northern Kingdom, so-called Hispanics coming to the Americas, while you got Edomites fleeing to Central and South America. What's really going on? And they're fleeing to Chile. They're fleeing to all these other places. They're fleeing to Argentina. They're going to overseas. What's really going on? Right now in the news, you got so much gun violence here in Chicago. These so-called white people, they can't take no more. Them Edomites, some crackers, some rich crackers, some educated crackers, right? They can't take it no more. Yeah, they thought they were going to get to enjoy their money. Right? I went to college. I was going to buy a house and Fuck. Got niggers shooting up the streets all over the place. Hispanics shooting up the streets. I can't take it. I'm ready to move out of that. Ready to move out of Chicago. That's the spirit. Chicago, Philadelphia, right? Detroit, Miami, Los Angeles, right? Down south, Mississippi, New Orleans, all these different fucking cities, man. What you got? Gun violence. Nahum 3-1, woe to the bloody city. Yeah, it is full of lies and robbery. That's what you got going on right now. Motherfuckers getting robbed. Motherfuckers getting kidnapped. Motherfuckers getting shot. And they're not having no mercy on no children, no women, no elderly, no nothing. Yeah, no nothing. Yeah, the American is not safe no more here in Babylon the Great, right? They passing laws. Matter of fact, they don't want you Americans safe. That's why they passing law to make sure you don't have no weapon while these criminals ain't no fucking criminal following no law, right? These laws they passing is to keep the guns out of you good citizens' hands, you so-called good citizens' hands, because a criminal could give two fucks about if he gonna go to jail for having an automatic weapon or not. That's the last thing on his fucking mind, right? Look at you got Esau Edom done shot up all these schools, right? If you go back, what you done had the Sandy Hook, right? You done had the shooting in Florida. They done shot up the homosexual club. You done had these nigga cities full of violence, right? That it's a death spirit in any nigga in Hispanic city. But guess what? The white boy want to know, got enough ammo, sonny? Yeah, the Esau Edom, that was his blessing. By thy sword shalt thou live. If you look at the American budget right now, how much of it go to the military, right? Let's find out. Read this. It says Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, right? It says world military expenditure passes 2 trillion for the first time, man. 2 trillion, right? $2 trillion spent on what? Conflict, spent on war, spent on death and destruction, right? That's the spirit of Esau, because guess what? He's gonna make probably 100 trillion of that 2 trillion he just spent. It says total global military expenditure increased by 0.7% in real terms in 2021 to research 113 whatever billion. The 5 largest spenders in 2021 were the United States, China, India, the United Kingdom, and Russia, together accounting for 62% of expenditure, according to the new data on global military spending published by the Stockholm International. That's a lot of money being spent on what? On what? Death, right? Because we know what's coming, World War III. I'm reading the book of Revelation 11 and 14, and it reads, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. World War III cometh quickly. Yeah, everything points in the direction of everybody fighting nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, realm against realm, yeah, with the swords in their hands, pure destruction. Countries firing off missiles at each other, right? Missile defense systems failing, right, due to too many fucking missiles being shot at countries, right? Because America's trusting in a missile defense system that we know ain't gonna block shit. Because first off, the Lord said he gonna put his spirit in the missiles. And what else? They ain't gonna miss their target. They ain't gonna miss their mark. They gonna hit every fucking thing they need to hit here in Babylon the Great. Yeah, the Lord's gonna cleanse this earth with fire, right? The Lord's gonna purge the wicked out of this place with this fire, man. Because Esau Edom, it's time for this devil to go, man. Because that's all only thing on this man's mind is death and destruction. Death and destruction, chaos, mayhem, right? Because through that's how he sets his order. That's how he sets his order. That's how he gets his population control agenda going, right? He sets order, gets his population agenda control, pushes that spirit of fear, and here he comes with the solution. Here he comes with the solution. And this solution is not working, right? It says there are fewer hunters with guns, right? Most young people avoid guns. So do most women, right? And most Democrats. So who's buying all the guns, man? We already know who it is, man. It's these Republican, Edomite spirited motherfuckers and you dumbass Democrat white boys too. Don't let them Edomite crackers fool you, them Democrats fool you. They love them pistols too. The spirit of Esau, that was his blessing. And like we said, a lot of you jakes, you done learn the ways of your enemies and you done followed his ways. So now you're in love with your gun, right? You thinking that weapon gonna save you. What the Bible say about living by that sword? This is the book of Matthew 26 and 52. Then said Yahweh unto him, put up again thy sword into his place. For all they that take up the sword shall perish with the sword. For all they that take up the sword shall perish with the sword, man. Yeah, because we're waiting for spiritual intervention. We're waiting for our Lord to intervene. We're waiting for the deliverance from above, not from a carnal deliverance from an earth. And I'm not telling you that ain't nothing wrong with having something to defend your home, but at the same time, we ain't got the spirit of these fucking stupid motherfuckers going out here with the spirit of Pistol Pete, right? Nigga living by the sword. Guess what? You gonna die by the sword. Look at Tupac. Talking about me and my girlfriend. Talking about his gun. Guess what? He got killed and that gun's still around. That pistol's still around. These pistols ain't going nowhere right now because guess what? They're being set up for destruction of this society. When all hell fucking break loose, when that food stop coming into these cities, man, these weapons gonna get put in play. They're gonna get put in play, and anybody who take up the sword, they're gonna perish by the sword. Matthew 26 and 52. Then said Yahweh unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, because it is a trap. You're being set up. You're being set up. Why you think these devils dropping up crates of guns in these so-called blacks and Hispanic neighborhoods? You got accounts of kids finding guns of crates of guns in parks, right? You look at these videos, man, these little motherfucking 13, 14, 15-year-olds got better weapons than grown Americans with jobs, than middle-class Americans. Better weapons, right? So something is happening. Something is being set up in this society. It's called the destruction of America. Destruction of America. Then said Yahweh unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take up the sword shall perish with the sword.